Hello, I'm back with another BTS reference video, and I think it's been about 4 or 5 months since I last posted that video. And surprisingly, most of the people that commented on it were Koreans, which was interesting. But I'll just continue to explain in English for those non-Korean armies out there who don't know much about the Korean culture or language, etc. Today's episode is from 달려라 방탄, or Run BTS, episode 140, and they did a collaboration with 출장 Siboya. So let's get right into it. And here it says 달빵 봄맞이 MT, or Run BTS Spring MT. An MT is a Konglish word, like Korean English word that only Koreans really use. MT stands for membership training. Yeah, nobody uses that outside of Korea. But MTs are like outings or retreats or get-togethers, mostly for college students or employees in companies. The point of an MT is for a closer intimacy within the groups. I don't know why they call it training. I don't think there's much training going on, but that's why they call it na-T or na-PD training. So this next one is kind of a song. It's more like a cultural reference. There's a lot of drinking games in Korea, and most of them involve some type of singing. And this is one of them that Jimin was doing. And I think there's no specific title for this song. It's either like a 마셔라 song or 어깨 탈골 song. And 마셔라 means like drink up, keep drinking. 마셔라 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 술이 들어간다 쓱쓱쓱쓱쓱쓱 언제까지 어깨 숨을 추리할 거야 내 어깨를 봐 탈골 됐잖아 탈골 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 탈골. The song is basically saying, I'm gonna keep doing this like shoulder dance until you keep drinking. So don't let my shoulder be dislocated. So just keep drinking. There's I don't know if it's subtle or pretty much explicit, but there is some peer pressure there, as you can see, right? This next reference is from a comedy show called 개그 콘서트, which ran from 1999 to 2020. I think it was the longest running comedy show. Yeah. 민이라고 해. And this particular segment that V is referring to is called 꽃보다 아름다워, which ran from 2004 to 2005. And 꽃보다 아름다워 means more beautiful than a flower. And this was a parody of the F4 from Boys Over Flower, or 꽃보다 남자. And F4 stands for flowery 4, or the flower boy 4. Means they're very pretty, very attractive, very handsome. The point of that skit was that all the guys who came out were exactly considered today's stereotypical image of a flowery boy. And one of the F4 boys' name is Min, and that's how he introduced himself.
안녕. 난 민이라고 해.
민이라고 해. 민이라고 해. And then 나영석 PD appears. And PDs are producers. I don't think people really call producers PDs anywhere else in the world, but in Korea, PDs is short for producers. And na PD is one of the top 3 or 4 variety show producers in Korea. Some of the works that he produced or he was a big part of was like 1박 2일, 신서유기, 알쓸신잡, 강식당, 윤식당, 윤스테이, 꽃보다 할배, 삼시세끼. So I'm sure if you're interested in Korean variety shows, you've probably watched at least 1 or 2 of those shows. And 채널 Siboya is a YouTube channel run by na-PD's production company called Egg is Coming and CJ ENM. And Siboya means the 15th night on the lunar calendar when the full moon rises.
하나, 둘, 셋.
와, 왜 몰라? Yoo-Jin is an actor with notable roles from the early 2000s, and she's married to Baek Jong-won, who's a chef and an entrepreneur. And Baek Jong-won was actually one of the guests that starred in one of the episodes of Run BTS a while ago. So the members were saying, how could you, forget her name? Her husband was on our show like a while ago. So, and when Jimin couldn't get her name fast enough, they were all like ganging up on him. And on the subtitles, it says secretly adoring Jimin or something like that. But if you read the highlighted letters, it says Jimin Mori. And Jimin Mori basically is saying ganging up on Jimin in a very playful way. This next person is Park Chan-ho, and he is a former baseball pitcher. And one of his nicknames is Too Much Talker because he's very famous for talking a lot. And that's why RM says too much.
솔직히 기억이 안 나네.
투머치.
And this next person, V gets one of his close friends, Choi Woo-Sik.
하나, 둘, 셋.
최우식.
Choi Woo-Sik was one of the main characters from Bong Joon-ho's film 기생충 or Parasite. He was the son of the poor family. V, Choi Woo-Sik, Park Seo-joon, they are all close friends. And there's also Peak Boy and Park Hyung-sik. And the five of them have this social group among themselves called WooGa family. And WooGa family means 우리 가족 family. So 우리 가족 means my family or our family because 우리 means our. But in Korean, we don't really say my family like 나의 가족 or 나의 엄마. We say 우리 엄마, 우리 아빠, even though I'm strictly talking about like my mom or dad. And the five of them are really close together and they get along really well. So they were saying like, we're not even a family, but we are so compatible with one another. We're basically like a family. So they call themselves 우리 가족 family and WooGa fam. That's how it came about. And this next one, Leonardo DiCaprio was one of the questions.
하나, 둘, 셋. 리카프리오.
And V kind of mumbles and says DiCaprio instead of DiCaprio. And the members were arguing that his pronunciation is not great, but he did say DiCaprio instead of DiCaprio. And when V is emphasizing that he did say DiCaprio, he does this motion as if he's taking a picture. And that's because in Korean, digital camera is shown as DiCa, digital camera. So he was saying like he said D instead of Lee. And if you haven't already noticed, Koreans love doing this. They love shortening the words.
하나, 둘, 셋. 뽕뽕이. 정답.
Bboongbboong-E is a children's television program character from the show 방귀대장 뿡뿡이. And the English translation of the title is The Fart King 뿡뿡이. But if you translate it literally, 방귀 is fart, but 대장 means like boss or leader. So it's fart boss 뿡뿡이. One of his special powers is farting. And from his fart, there are all these like special effects that happen.
나와라 나와 노래방기 뿌이뿌이
And this next reference that Jungkook makes is from a Korean drama called 야인시대 or Rustic Period, which ran from 2002 to 2003.
하나, 둘, 셋.
4달러.
It's a period drama that focused on the life of Kim Do-han, who was a former mob leader that later turned into a politician. And this reference, the 사달라, came from episode 84. This was taking place during the Korean War in 1950. And the Korean laborers that were transporting the military supplies for the US Army went on strike. And Kim Do-han went to the negotiation as the representative of the laborers, and he demanded that the workers get their daily wage from $1 to $4. Hence, 사달라.
4달러. Hell with this. All right, $4. Okay, thank you. Okay, 4달러.
And this last one is a song reference.
이렇게도 아름다운 세상 이렇게 났다고? 잊지 않으리.
The Kim brothers were singing a song called 가로수 그늘 아래 서면 by Moon-Sae. And the title, 가로수 그늘 아래 서면, means standing under the shade of a roadside tree. And Lee Moon-Sae is considered a classic, iconic artist in Korea. Back in the day, Lee Moon-Sae and Lee Soo-man, yes, the head of SM, they were considered the top ballad artists. And a lot of Lee Moon-Sae songs, it's been sampled and covered over and over again. For example, if you guys been familiar with the K-pop from like 10 years ago, there was a song that Big Bang released called 붉은 노을, or The Sunset Glow, and that song sampled Lee Moon-Sae's 붉은 노을. And his songs have been used in drama soundtracks as well. One of them is 응답하라 1988 or Reply 1988. It was covered by a different artist named Hyogo, and the song was called 소녀 or Girl. So that's all I have prepared for today. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you guys have any questions or comments or whatever. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.